Welcome to another In Wheel Time podcast, a 30-minute mini version of the In Wheel Time car show that airs live every Saturday morning, 8 to 11 a.m. Central.
This is your favorite go-to spot in podcasting and live streaming. It's the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Just ahead, author Pete Evanow and his book, Ford Bronco, the original SUV. We'll also have Mars' version of This Week in Auto History. Notice that I said Mars' version.
I saw that.
And
it means I can change it.
You cannot even do it. And, if I don't hit the button, you ain't doing it. But I think that we have
Jeff and I are going to do it, whether you like it or not.
You're going to tie me up.
Easy, big boy.
Howdy, along with Mike out of this world, Mars. We always need more Jeff Zekit. I'm Don Armstrong. Glad you could join us on this Saturday, and thank you very much for joining us. As a matter of fact, let's talk now with Pete Evanow and his book, Ford Bronco, the original SUV. Did you come up with the original SUV, or you know that for a fact?
Well, good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning. I'm very good, thank you. And yourself, good. I hope you're doing well.
Yeah, I'm doing very well, thank you. It was a debate among the publisher, Zach Miller of Motor Books, and myself. It's something that's going to spark a little bit of controversy because I suspect the folks down in Toledo will argue that they are the original SUV, but it was a term that Ford came up with. They determined that they used the word the acronym SUV first.
Yeah, because it stands for Sport Utility Vehicle.
That is correct.
Yeah,
and they used that to define the Bronco. So technically, that was the first use of the term. So that's why we applied it to the Bronco.
Well. And rightfully so. And you know what? I'll go with that.
Yep.
Okay. and Ford will go with that because, everybody wants to be first at something. So they were the first to use that term.
Okay. So, oh my gosh, all I can think of is the research and all of the stuff that you had to go through to write this.
Really?
I mean, how long did it take you to write this thing?
About a year and a half.
Yeah, because I think that most people think, that was no big deal.
Yeah.
I mean,
a couple of weeks.
He just
Bronco.
sat down on his Remington typewriter and pounded away for a little while, and it was all good.
Yeah,
but in a book like this, when you're writing something, I toy with being a writer, and I write car reviews for a little local magazine here, and I struggle with it. It doesn't come easy to me. And, I write it, then I rewrite it, then I rewrite it again. I didn't like that sentence. Go back and change it. No, I didn't like it. So forget that. I don't want to even put that in there. Do you have to do that as well when you write a big book like this?
Absolutely. And it's not a Remington, it's a Royal type.
He upgraded, yeah.
Upgraded to a Royal.
Well, in his day, they were Remingtons.
Absolutely.
As a matter of fact, back in the old newsroom that I used to work in, we had Royals in there. Yeah.
Well, we're all kind of dating ourselves, but when I was in college back, when dinosaurs roamed the planet like you guys,
right.
We were all using typewriters.
Of course, yeah. And when you use a typewriter and you write a book, you better be darn good, because they ain't like going back and editing now on a computer.
I got chisel and a palette there.
But I started the research with the good help of the folks at Ford. I got to give a shout out to Ted Ryan. He's the archivist at Ford. And that man, he knows everything.
We have actually had him on the show.
Yep.
And it was absolutely fascinating to talk to him. Oh, my gosh. Talk about a wealth of knowledge.
Oh, my gosh. You're so right. I mean, he knows everything, and he's been there a long time. He was very, very generous with his time and research. He opened up everything to me.
He went from a different industry over to doing that for Ford, if I remember correctly, and then he stayed at Ford for many, many years still.
I mean, the man's a sponge.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Anyway, so I did a lot of digging. I did a lot of interviewing. It was just to me, I love research. So I'm a faculty member at Cal State Fullerton here. I've been a teacher the last 23 years. Before that, I was in the automotive business forever. I was in motorsports. I actually worked with Ford for many years, but so I know what it takes to write a book. I've written 2 other books, for motor books as well, on Nissan, because I worked at Nissan in their motorsports department too.
Yeah.
But it took a while to write it. It took a while to rewrite a lot of things. I had the help of an editor on staff at Motor Books, and she beat me up. But I'm pretty good about grammar. My mother was an English teacher, so every day was I had to learn a new piece about grammar. So I'm pretty good about that. But it's all about making sure that it flows well, and that you're writing for your audience. You're writing for Ford enthusiasts, you're writing for Bronco enthusiasts, but you got to make sure that everything is accurate, because you're going to have somebody out there who says, this wasn't right. And so I got to write for those people too.
I hear you. I hear exactly where you're coming from. Okay, so let's go into the actual vehicle itself, the Ford Bronco, the original one. So now, the original one was first introduced in the 66 model year. So that, to me, tells me that they started working on this somewhere around 62, 3, somewhere in there.
Absolutely right. Yeah.
And so what prompted them to come up with the Bronco then? Because let's face it, I mean, the off-road community was very small compared to what it is today. And not too many people really knew all that much about it, except the real true off-roaders. And most of those vehicles were purpose-built.
Absolutely right. The rationale for this was that they really realized that there was a niche to be occupied.
Yeah.
And Ford was paying close attention to the Scout that International was building.
Right.
Ford did recognize what Jeep was doing, but they felt that they could do it better. And so Donald Frey, who of course created the Mustang with Lee Iacocca, he was really the driving force behind creating this Bronco. They were already good with building a pickup truck, and so they said, you know what, we need to go one step further and create this off-road vehicle.
Well, I think that it was really an SUV for all people, whether you were an off-roader or not. And it became so popular, people going to the beach, especially out there in California.
Right.
My gosh, I mean, it just kind of fit right in.
Yeah, absolutely. And it was a good multi-purpose vehicle because being in Detroit, it was good for pushing snow with the plow in front.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
That's right.
A friend of mine that I went to high school with, he had one. His dad bought him one, and he did that for that specific reason. He drove it back and forth to school, but he also used it for clearing lots and things.
Evan, do you ever think for a minute that the popularity of the original little tin can Bronco would be in hundreds of thousands of dollars now going across auction blocks?
No, I mean, I think there's probably people. I had one many years ago. I paid $13,000 for it, and I sold it for $18,000, and I'm kicking myself because it probably is now $78,000 or $108,000, depending on whether the fenders were still cut. So anyway, that's just the way things are. So everything of value goes up. But it's astonishing how much the early Broncos are worth today.
I'm dying to ask, did you interview OJ for the book?
No, I didn't.
I think that was a different era.
All right,
different era of Bronco. But I mean, that's part of what amazes me is the amount of material you had to go through. I mean, to look at, to be able to put a book together like this.
Yeah. Did they point you in the right direction when you went to the archives?
They did. They pushed me in all directions. They showed me all the prototypes that didn't make it.
Wow.
That was a fascinating part that I've included. I got to tell you a funny story about the OJ one. I found the original OJ vehicle is in a museum. I believe it's in Tennessee. That highlights gangsters and criminals and all that kind of stuff. I think John Dillinger's car is in there, so it's in with the proper people,
Bonnie and Clyde,
or proper vehicles. But I tried to use a picture from it, and they said, "Oh no, we won't allow that vehicle to be in your Bronco book." And I'm like, "Well, why not?" They said, "Well, that's not the proper audience that we want to go after." I said, "Okay, well, that's fine." But sales of the Bronco actually kind of ramped up after OJ's little incident, and Ford was already planning on the next vehicle. They'd already had thought that the Bronco by that time was going to be shut down as a Bronco by '96.
Well, I think that the old saying is, what is it? Race on Monday, sell on Tuesday, or no?
Race on Sunday, won't sell on Monday. Yeah.
But you get my point. I mean, I don't know when the chase was on, but whatever the chase was on, the next day they started selling Broncos.
Yeah. But they did send me in the right direction. I got a lot of great help from the folks at Ford. Yeah,
well, and I will say this, that even the later model Broncos have become popular again, and especially if they've got now under 100,000 miles on them. That's not too much.
Yeah. No.
So what was the most interesting thing that you found out in your research on the original Bronco and its design?
Most interesting thing. That's a great question. There was never really a consideration for a four-door at that time, but what I really liked was the little roadster that they built. That one was the one that didn't have a door. It was more of a little, really Southern California styled vehicle. It came as a convertible. It was, talk about it being unsafe. It really didn't have anything in terms of protecting you. The seatbelts were tentatively an option at that time. Wow. But it to me, it would have been today. It would sell very well with proper safety equipment, but it did not last very long. But it was the Roadster is probably the most limited production car, but it was a fascinating looking little vehicle.
Very interesting. Did you happen to research what was the biggest selling year for the Bronco in the original form?
Oh boy, you asked a question that I probably should tell you right off the top of my head. I believe it's going to be 1969.
I was just going to say that. I was just going to guess, but that would have been my guess, because it comes out in 66, and that the sales ramped up. People see them and they go, I really like that. And I would think that 69 would have. When did they change the body style from the original? The first time?
The first time was in 1977.
Wow.
So, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah. So 77 is when they went to the larger model.
That actually 78 was when they went to the larger model.
Gotcha.
So
okay.
they kept it from 66 to 77. So
that's a long run, and I'm sure that they did quite well with that original design. Anything about the new Bronco?
Well, the new Bronco, what they did keep that everybody was grateful for is they kept the round headlights, and I think that was critical to the success and to the homage to the original.
Well, I will say this. I know that when Jeep, I don't know what year that was.
73, I believe.
73, they went to those square headlights. Everybody went, no, don't do that.
Real Jeeps
have
round
headlights. One year where they went to those rectangular headlights.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was probably a major faux pas on their part. But
they never did it again.
The round headlights was good. Having so many different models was probably very smart. So, there's an old saying, there's an ass for every seat. In this case, there's an enthusiast for every seat. So, they started with the first edition. They then went into Big Bend, Black Diamond, Outer Banks, Badlands, Wild Track, and then eventually they came up with the big one, which of course is a homage to the sport vehicle, of course, the Raptor, which of course they call the Braptor.
Yeah.
But having all those different models is smart because they appeal to different people. And then having the Bronco Sport, which is the smaller version based on the Ford Escape, that was a lower priced version, going after an audience that maybe couldn't afford the bigger Bronco, but maybe wanted something that was an everyday cruiser that they could take back and forth to school, back and forth to work, or just, as a second or third vehicle. So I think those were all very smart strategies on the part of Ford in doing that. And then, there are just so many new options and accessories that Ford offers you as a consumer or as an enthusiast, that you can do a lot of different things off-road, as well as just to upgrade your vehicle.
Well, I have to tell you that I had a chance to drive the Bronco Sport. I still haven't gotten the Bronco, but at any rate, in the press fleet. But I'll tell you, I really did like the Bronco Sport. And for those that are thinking, well, man, I just can't afford that Bronco. Well, if you're not really a serious off-roader, go the Bronco Sport.
Yeah,
the thing rides great. Did you mention that in the book at all?
I did. Absolutely.
Yeah, because it'd be difficult not to mention it, because it's part of the whole Bronco revitalization from Ford.
Yeah, absolutely. I have a whole section on the Bronco Sport, because it definitely appeals to a distinct audience. It has its own following, but there's definitely a market for that vehicle.
What about those years that they didn't produce a Bronco? It's kind of like a blackout period. I mean, what happened?
Well, it was a time that Ford felt that they needed to. I don't know whether they just decided that the Bronco had seen its time, because the focus then was, of course, on the Explorer. And when the Explorer was launched, man, it took off. And then from the Explorer, they built the Expedition. I'm sorry, the Expedition. The Expedition. And the Expedition was, kind of like the big Explorer, and it did very well. And then from there, it came the Excursion. And so they had 3 versions of SUVs, and the Bronco, for whatever reason, even though it had a very devoted audience and a very strong membership base, was just not in the headlights or in the scope of Ford's thinking. But that doesn't mean that they weren't thinking, that they didn't have it in a future decision. I can remember being at the Detroit Auto Show in 2004, where Bill Ford came out with a prototype, and that was it was a beautiful looking downsized Bronco that they brought out on the stage there at Cabo. Was it Cabo?
Cobo Hall.
Cobo
Hall.
Yep.
Yeah. And so they brought that out, and it looked beautiful. And I do a piece on that inside the book about what happened to all these prototypes, but it just wasn't right. The timing wasn't right, because they were still selling the tons and tons of Explorers.
Pete, how many pages is the book?
Oh, the book itself is 176 pages.
Good. So it's not like some thing that I'd have to check out at the library.
Yeah, War and Peace.
What?
War and Peace. It comes in
War and Peace.
volumes.
Yeah, and it is also a picture book. You got some illustrations in there as well.
Oh, I've got lots and lots of illustrations. Many of them come from the archives of Ford, so I have to thank them again for letting me have those.
Well, what a great present, especially whether you own a Bronco, want a Bronco, had a Bronco,
or just a Ford guy,
That'd be a great
Father's Day's coming up.
Father's Day, Mother's Day, my birthday.
Can you get the book online, Amazon, etc.?
You can get it on Amazon. You can get it at your local bookstore. You can get it at Barnes and Noble. It's it'll be coming out on March 12th is the day it's released.
Very nice. Well, we're right around the corner. Pete, it's great to talk to you. Thank you so much for joining us today.
My pleasure. Thank you, gentlemen. Hello from California.
Thank you very much. And hello
from
Texas. Thanks again, Pete. Pete Evanow with Ford Bronco, the original SUV. Hey, the In Wheel Time Car Talk show is available 24/7 through the iHeartRadio app. Just look for In Wheel Time Car Talk. We also video stream on Facebook, YouTube, and InWheelTime.com. And podcasts, they're available from your favorite podcast provider. The In Wheel Time Car Talk show continues right after this quick break.
Pro-Am Auto Accessories has been serving Houston's auto enthusiasts since 1984, providing world-class products for sports cars, European sedans, and American muscle. Pro-Am is known as the place to go to find exclusive and hard-to-find parts and accessories. Pro-Am is one of the very first distributors in the USA for brands such as Recaro, Redline, Momo, Corbo, and Simpson. Located in the heart of Houston's premier retail and service corridor, the Galleria area, Pro-Am's walk-in storefront includes an 8,000-square-foot warehouse, showroom, and installation bays. Pro-Am not only sells parts and accessories, but also offers installation and service. Pro-Am is now reaching a worldwide audience through Pro-Am.com, taking its local reputation to the rest of the world. At Pro-Am Auto, you'll be dealing with a small group of professionals who truly want to help you with your automotive needs. If you don't see what you're looking for on the website, call, and Pro-Am will lend you a hand. Pro-Am Auto, 6125 Richmond at Green Ridge in Houston's Galleria area. Call them at 713-781-7755. Want to feel good about something special you did for someone special? In Wheel Time and the original Lupi Tortilla group of Tex-Mex restaurants have joined together to help a very worthy cause, God's Garage, a Christian-based 501c3 charity. We know there are lots of places and organizations out there where you can donate a car, truck, or SUV, but we're asking you, our car enthusiast family, to consider donating to God's Garage. Visit godsgarage.org and learn about its mission, the women that have been helped, how each one is screened, and about their Restore You program. A car donation is an easy way to make a difference in the lives of others. God's Garage needs good operating vehicles, but will take all types in working and non-working condition. Make your heart and soul feel good by donating your gently used vehicle and help support single mothers, widows, and wives of deployed military at godsgarage.org.
Mecum Auctions, the world's largest collector car auction company, returns to Houston, Texas, April 4th through the 6th at NRG Center, featuring 1,000 muscle cars, Corvettes, trucks, customs, and more. Broadcast on Motor Trend TV and streaming live on Max. From avid collectors to those new to the Mecum experience, we welcome everyone. Register to bid now at Mecum.com.
Welcome back to the In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Don't make fun of me.
Oops. No, I was just thinking.
Oh, you were making fun of me.
We get to talking.
We got our feet up. We got our headsets on.
Smoking cigarettes.
There you go, drinking a beer.
Yeah, that's it. That's what it is.
We good.
Welcome back to the In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Time now for This Week in Auto History.
Yeah.
And
Yes, sir?
Mr. Mars is Mr. Historian today.
Yeah, well, we're trying. So there's a lot of stuff going on this week in auto history. And back in 1949, I'm talking slow.
I remember it well.
Yeah. Preston Tucker developed the Tucker 48. Turned out to be a very futuristic vehicle that had a lot of innovations that we now find as standard things in our automobiles, such as safety glass, padded steering wheels, things like that.
How about the headlight that moves
And
when
he
you turn the
had
steering wheel?
the center cyclops headlight. Yeah, the headlights that follow now with the steering. So it was all great. Unfortunately, an investigation by the Security and Exchange Commission, even though he was found not guilty, put the Tucker Corporation into receivership in 1949. Noted, found this, the company was only able to produce 51 completed Tuckers during that time. And almost all of them have been accounted for, but a lot of people think there's still one out there somewhere that's never been accounted for. Also this week, in 1902, AAA is founded. Now, actually, 9 motor clubs went together and combined their membership of 1,500 individuals to form AAA as an advocate for better road,
I think that we need to start our own motor club.
We could do that.
The IWT
Motor Club.
IWT.
Bunch of hoopties.
Yeah, exactly.
Then in 1964, the first generation Ford Mustang was manufactured by Ford. They did that from March of 64 to 1973.
That was a 64 and a half.
And it was a white convertible powered by a 260 cubic inch V8. Now, the other thing about the Mustang, it created the class of automobiles that are now known as pony cars. And then in 1969, Pontiac unveiled its first Firebird Trans Am Pontiac and entered it into the Trans Am series in 1968. And then a year later, they introduced the Trans Am Firebird for public purchases. And that's this week in auto history.
Very good.
Smokey and the Bandit.
Well, not quite in '69, but
no, I know, but it eventually evolved
yes.
into that, right? I'll never forget the Autorama that we did, and we had the Smokey and the Bandit actors and the car and the whole 9 yards. We got a picture of them with us.
Yeah, we did.
That was fun.
Interview Buford T. Justice.
Buford T. We sure did.
They were really good.
Well, Volkswagen Group faces a pair of lawsuits in Germany over claims it was the battery in a Porsche electric vehicle that triggered the 2022 fire on board a massive cargo ship that eventually sank with thousands of cars on board.
We did a story on that.
One of the suits was filed in a court in Stuttgart, where VW's Porsche unit is based. The case was brought by half a dozen plaintiffs, including Mitsui OSK Lines, the ship's operator, and Allianz, one of the insurers of the vessel, according to a spokesman for the tribunal. The case was filed a year ago, but was recently paused because of mediation talks planned for a second lawsuit over the ships that is currently before a court in Brunswick. Both cases will resume if no settlement can be reached. The Brunswick judge plans to hold the talks later this month, according to a tribunal spokesman.
And that's all that's still down the bottom.
Oh, yeah, and it will probably remain there. Panama flag Felicity Ace caught fire near the Azores archipelago in the Atlantic Ocean 2 years ago and was left adrift after the crew was rescued. An internal email from VW's U.S. operations at the time revealed there were 3,965.1 vehicles aboard the ship. The cargo ship's loss could have cost the automaker at least $155 million, according to a risk modeling company's estimate. The plaintiffs claim that the fire originated from the lithium-ion battery of a Porsche model and alleged VW failed to inform them of the danger and necessary precautions needed to transport such vehicles, according to the Stuttgart court. Dodge is bringing its signature attitude to the electric vehicle world with the next generation Charger, while also continuing the nameplate's legacy of gasoline-powered performance. The brand, known for pushing the envelope and brashly embracing speed with its Hellcats and Demons, isn't leaving the mentality behind with its first EV, which includes modes for drifting and doing donuts. 2024 Charger Daytona Scat Pack will deliver 670 horsepower with a 260-mile range and a 0 to 60 time of 3.3 seconds. Another option is the 496 horsepower Daytona RT trim with a range of 317 miles. The electric coupes are scheduled to enter production in mid-24. Production of four-door versions begins in the first quarter of 25. CEO Tim Kuniskis said the ultimate performer in the Charger EV lineup, which will be called the Banshee, is coming next year.
I can see it now, out cutting donuts.
Yeah, no horsepower or no sound.
And the tires don't squeal, nothing. Yeah.
The In Real Time Car Talk Show continues after this.
The original group of Loopy Tortilla restaurants will have you telling your family and friends just what the original recipes mean when it comes to the best fajitas in Southeast Texas. Founder Stan Holt invites you to visit the original Loopy Tortilla near I-10 and Highway 6. Here's the original house that inspired the design of all the rest and the original charm that helped make Loopy Tortilla the go-to destination for Houston Tex-Mex. Speaking of original, nothing can compete with the original lime pepper marinade that everyone will agree makes Loopy Tortilla award-winning beef fajitas the best anywhere. Loopy Tortilla Katy is another location that gives you the same quality and service Houstonians have come to expect at Loopy's. It's located just off I-10 and the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard in Katy. Find yourself in Aggieland? Head to the Loopy Tortilla in College Station, located just around the corner from Kyle Field. It's a great place to enjoy those famous frozen margaritas before or after the game. Headed east to Louisiana, stop in at the Loopy Tortilla in Beaumont. It too's on I-10. You can't miss it. The original group of Loopy Tortilla restaurants invites you in for the best Tex-Mex anywhere. You own a car you love. Well, why not let Gulf Coast Auto Shield protect it? Houstonian John Gray invites you to his state-of-the-art facility to introduce you to his specialist team of auto enthusiasts. We promise you'll be impressed. Whether you're looking to massage your original paint to a like-new appearance, apply a ceramic coating, install a paint protection film, nano-ceramic window tint, or new windshield protection called ExoShield, Gulf Coast Auto Shield is where Houston's car people go. Curbed your wheels? Instead of buying new, why not have them repaired? How about a professionally installed radar detector? Gulf Coast Auto Shield does that too. Get a peek inside the shop and look at the services offered by getting online and heading to gcautoshield.com. Better yet, stop by their facility at 11275 South Sam Houston Tollway, just south of the Southwest Freeway, and get a personal tour. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is your place to go for all things exterior. Call them today, 832-930-5655 or gcautoshield.com.
Well, that's it for this week's In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Now, your invitation to follow us on Facebook. Give us a like, tell your friends about us, and share our stuff. We'll keep you posted on all things automotive all week long, including our famous interviews, new car reviews, upcoming events, cruise-ins, racing, manufacturer, and car, truck, and SUV news. When you are looking for some award-winning car talk to listen to during the week, you can find the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show 24/7 via the iHeartRadio app. Daily 30-minute podcasts available from your favorite streaming provider. We post a new episode every day. Don't forget, we live stream this show on Facebook, YouTube, and InWheelTime.com every Saturday, 8 to 11 a.m. Central Time. The In Wheel Time marketing, advertising advisor, and video technical director is we always need more Jeff Zekin. For booking agent, video editor, posting possum, and overall do-all, Mike Mars, and chief engineer David Ainsley, I'm Don Armstrong. We hope you'll join us next week for a special broadcast from the Corvette Chevy Expo at the Galveston Convention Center. It's on the seawall in Galveston. We'll have another live award-winning production of the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. It's next Saturday, March 16th at a special time, 9 a.m. to noon on all of our In Wheel Time Car Talk outlets. Have a great weekend and be safe out there.
That's it for this podcast episode of the In Wheel Time Car Show. I'm Don Armstrong, inviting you to join us for our live show every Saturday morning, 8 to 11 a.m. Central on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and our InWheelTime.com website. Podcasts are available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, iHeart Podcast, Podcast Addict, TuneIn, Pandora, and Amazon Music. Keep listening, and we'll see you soon.